Alright, so we are back for another video, and for today we're going to be checking out one of the most requested IEMs in the channel. This is the Moondrop Chu 2, so the successor to the really popular Moondrop Chu 1. And a very interesting here because yeah, this is still in the same price range as the Moondrop Chu 1, but with some improvements, and definitely welcome there because the Sal Note 0 is giving the Chu 1 a run for its money. So will the Chu 2 trump the Sal Note 0? We're gonna find that out here in this video. But of course, we're gonna do a classic unboxing first. We have Moondrop, and yeah, some usual portrait for your IEM, some specifications. Chu 2 high performance dynamic driver in-ear monitors. So DD configuration here, ZN alloy, 10mm high performance dynamic driver, aluminum magnesium alloy composite diaphragm, 0.78mm 2-pin connector, 3.5mm jack, 15 to 38 kHz in the frequency range, 20 to 20 kHz effective frequency, 18 ohm impedance, so quite easy to drive, 119 dB in sensitivity, and yeah, pretty standard, I'd say, in terms of the specs for Moondrop. Of course, opening this up, and that is your Moondrop Chu 2. So it still has maybe the design language of the Chu 1, but this definitely is a bit different. We're gonna check that out in a few, but let's check out what you're getting in the box. So here, surprisingly, you're getting a case here for the $20 range. Very welcome there. So much like the Chu 1, this is giving you definitely really good value for the money. And you're getting a Moondrop logo here as well. Opening this up, and yeah, surprisingly, we now have removable cables with the Chu 2. So very welcome there because yeah, the previous version doesn't have a removable cable. So that's one of the gripes for me for the Chu 1. I'm glad that we have it here now. Finally, I think this is the first Moondrop that has removable cables as well for the sub $20 range. And the cable as well maybe reminds me of the SSR SSP kind of cable. So yeah, very surprising that you're seeing it here in the sub $20 range because the SPSSR is more expensive compared to the Chus. So you're also getting some tips as well. So we don't have spring tips here, unfortunately, in our package anyways. And here you're getting your Moondrop Chu 2, and that is the IM itself. So yeah, very Moondrop Chu 1 in the design, but it's a bit different, of course. It's a bit more minimalist in the design here. Very similar in the shape as well. But of course, you are getting that removable cables. And here, you're still getting your gold kind of trims from the Chu 1. And in the insertion as well, similar to the Chu 1 also, if you can see that. So it's still not super inserting to the ear, not super maybe monitor type of insertion. Live monitor insertion is still more of a casual listening type of insertion here. So this might be comfortable to wear. And yeah, for any Moondrops, I really like the insertion to the ear and the comfort. So this is still like that here. And of course, you have some curvatures, which will make you wear this a bit easier and better comfort as well. In terms of the weight as well, very similar to the Chu 1. So this is your Chu 2 with the cables in. So much like maybe the SSR SSP kind of shape actually, and the sizing as well, very similar to the SSR SSP. And the cable as well, yeah, it's quite a standard cable here. Still pretty good, I'd say, but I have some cables that have kind of yellowed cables like this. So yeah, if you are an enthusiast, you will replace that cable for sure. But it does fit really well here. So Moondrop fit, one of my favorite fitting for sure. Not that deep in the insertion, quite breathable, quite light. So comfort really good here. So for longer listening sessions, you won't have an issue here. And the stability as well, still quite stable because of that ear hooks and the pretty okay insertion. So you know, you can still use this for some extraneous activities. So quick comparison compared to the Chu 1s. So very similar in shape here, but actually the Chu 1s might be a touch maybe heavier here compared to the Chu 2s. But if you can see the Chu 2, the design is more minimal there. Insertion is still very similar here. Yeah, the shape is almost 1:1. But of course, in the Chu 1s, you're not getting your removable cables. Here, you're getting it. So it's a value trade-off there. But if you can see the Chu 1s, you're getting your spring tips. Still, the spring tips is my favorite tip for the budget range anyways. So here it is compared to the Sal Note 0. So definitely the 0 has that usual maybe IM shape. So that might be an advantage for some, especially if you do like that look. But here at the side, you're getting very similar type of fitting here. But definitely the Sal Notes is a lot bigger compared to the Moondrop Chus. Both of them have removable cables. I would say though, I think that the cable is a bit better for me in the Sal Note 0. And it's cool also that you're getting that maybe pop color for your tips as well. So we are now listening to the Chu 2s. First impression, it's definitely a little bit different compared to the Chu 1s, but still has that Chu vibes. Very Moondrop type of sound. So not that overwhelming bass, really good mids, and extended top end. But maybe compared to the Chu 1s, this might be a bit colder in the tonality, a bit more relaxed, a bit more maybe reference in the sound compared to what you're getting with the Moondrop Chus. This is a bit maybe more mature in terms of the sound. The Moondrop Chu 1s is still maybe a bit more musical, a bit more engaging to listen to, or what you're getting with the Moondrop Chu 2s. This is a bit more toned down, a bit more mature sound here. So actually might be closer to the SSR for the Moondrop Chu 2s. It's a little bit more enthusiast sound compared to the Chu 1s. Definitely for the $20 price point, this is again a crazy entry to that price point. So the Chu 1s is already an enthusiast sound for the $20 price point. This is an even more enthusiast sound. So that's definitely crazy that they're able to do it here at the $20 price point. So judging from the sound itself, I will like this IEM. Let's try some bass, some Perm by Bruno Mars. Going to the bass, really controlled here. No mid-bass bleed. Definitely similar to the Chu 1s, but this might be even a bit tighter in the presentation. And I would say for some people, you might find this bass light as well. For me, it's not bass light. Definitely for bass heads, you won't like this. This is definitely a really toned down bass. It still has pretty good sub bass for me. The slam is still there, being a dynamic driver presentation. But this is definitely a really controlled bass. Something that you can even use for maybe some production work. Quite fast attack. Decay a bit slower, but definitely in the tighter side of things. And really mature bass for me. Very surprising. So definitely compared to the Chu 1s, compared to the Sal notes, this is even tighter, even a bit more toned down. So definitely more of an enthusiast bass for me here. No mid-bass bleed. Very surprising for the $20 price point. So this might be the most enthusiast bass that I've listened to in this price point. That's definitely crazy for the Moondrop Chu 2. But if there's one downside for me, the decay is a bit slower than what I'd like. It still has maybe some woolly nature to the bass. Still not the tightest bass, but again, this is a $20 pair. So I'm kind of nitpicking here. But I definitely enjoy the bass here. Definitely an enthusiast type of bass. Let's try some vocals. Some It's My Life by Bon Jovi. Going to the vocals, maybe slightly recessed. Very slight. And it's in the cleaner side of presentation as well. Quite a neutral presentation here for the mids. And in the cleaner side as well. So this is not going to be your smooth, lush vocal. This is in the cleaner side of things. It actually is a touch of micro detail here. Very surprising. Something that you can use for some production work. Let's try some Crush Paramore for some female vocals. And even for some female vocals, yeah, slightly recessed in the cleaner side as well. But I like the positioning. It's not that far off. And the neutral presentation for me of the vocals. So again, this is more of an enthusiast type of vocal here. For some people, you might find this a bit too flat, a bit too cold presentation. But no harshness for me inside. And definitely for this price point, unheard of again before. So the Chu 1 has that moniker, the unheard of sound in the $20 range. This is again unheard of. They still push the boundaries here. Really crazy. For the mids, I really enjoy this. Let's try some See You Again, Charlie Puth. But there may be one issue here for some people. One downside is you might find that the vocals here might have a touch of veil, especially if you're used to having brighter vocal presentation. This might have a touch of veil for you. So it's not maybe a super open, super revealing type of vocal, given that maybe colder nature to the sound. Let's try some top end. Let us try some Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. There's ample treble here to boot. There's some shine here, some treble extension for sure. So enough, guitars, treble there to throw around for some guitar tracks. Cymbals really good in the body. But yeah, the treble here is definitely not gonna be the most shimmery, not gonna be the most airy top end that you can listen to. It's definitely well controlled, very much controlled. Quite a neutral, maybe neutral bright presentation on top, but a very Moondrop top end here. No harshness for me inside. Very nice top end for me here. Going to some separation, pretty good, especially for dynamic drivers because of the cleaner nature of the sound and not much bass. Separation is really good for me here. Soundstage, above average to big. One of the bigger ones, I'd say, for this price point. And going some micro detail for dynamic drivers in this price point. Surprisingly, there's some micro detail here. Very much enjoy the listen here. Let us do some IM comparisons. So Chu 1 versus the Chu 2s. What's the difference? So firstly, the Chu ones has maybe a bit more engaging presentation, a bit more musical presentation, has a touch more maybe engaging vocals, has a bit more engaging guitars as well. Definitely a bit more lively compared to what you're getting with the Chu 2s. But the Chu ones has a smaller stage here, get a bit smoother sound as well. But definitely the treble here has a bit more air for me in the Chu ones. So this is definitely different. So frankly for me, what do I like more, Chu ones versus Chu 2s? Actually, you know, they can exist in your kit both. So the Chu ones reminds me of the Chu ones versus the Chu 2s. Our relationship is like the SSR SSP. The previous one is a bit more engaging. The Chu ones is a bit more engaging. It's like the SSP. And the Chu 2s is a more maybe mature, maybe the SSR kind of thing, a more reference pair. So they can actually both exist in your kit, and you'll be fine. So it will just depend on your preferences. For me personally, I do like the Chu 2s a bit more than the Chu 1s. I think some technicalities are better in the Chu 2s over what you're getting with the Chu 1s. But yeah, I would like that tips from the Chu 1s to the Chu 2s. But let's try to compare it to the Salnote Zeros. So next up, we have the Salnote Zero and the Chu 2s. These are actually very competitive to each other. So I do think these two are more competing compared to the Chu 1s. So overall, the Salnote still for me is maybe warmer in the tonality. The Chu 2s is a bit more maybe reference in the tonality. Again, a bit more maybe enthusiast sounding in the Chu 2s in that regard. So actually for the whole presentation, I still find the Salnote Zero to be maybe a bit more engaging in the presentation. The Chu 2 is a bit more, again, reference type of pair. So the bass for me, actually, I will give it to the Salnote Zeros. So I am liking the impact of the bass and the depth of the bass in the Salnote Zeros. For the vocals, it's kind of a trade-off. It will depend on your preferences there. So for the Chu 2s, it's a bit maybe more neutral in the presentation, a bit more toned down, a bit more relaxed in the presentation. For the Salnotes, a touch more revealing, a touch brighter in the presentation. So it will be a trade-off there. It will depend on your preferences. But for me personally, I still like the vocal of the Salnote Zeros. For the top end, it's a toss-up. So it's very similar here. So it will just depend on your preferences. For the stage, I actually do like the Chu 2s a bit more, and the cleanliness of the sound as well. It's a bit better in the Chu 2s. So this is actually a toss-up for me. So depends on your preferences. If you do like more for reference, more of an enthusiast, maybe sounding type of pair, a more relaxed type of pair, you might like the Chu 2s. If you like a more maybe engaging pair, a bit more musical a pair, you might like the Salnote Zero. For me personally, personal subjective preference, I still do like the Salnote Zero. But yeah, these two can exist in your kit and you'd be fine with either. So you know, it will be up to your preferences there. So what do I think of the Moondrop Chu 2s? What are my overall thoughts? So firstly, I really like this IEM. So in the sub $20 range, I haven't heard of an IEM like this again. So they were able to do it again for the sub $20 range. Some more maybe enthusiast sounding, more reference sounding compared to what you're getting with the Chu 1s. So this is like an SSR to the Chu 1's SSP. So really tight bass, good vocal positioning, cleaner sound overall, a bit maybe cleaner compared to what you're getting with the Moondrop Chu 1s. A bit better technicalities as well in that regard. Better sound stage, a bit more neutral presentation, a bit more level presentation of the male and female vocals. At the top end as well, enough treble to boot, and not being too harsh. So more relaxed type of sound here, more mature sound in a way compared to the Moondrop Chu 1s. So yeah, definitely for the $20 range, highly recommended here. I still do like the Salnote Zero for my personal preferences, but definitely this is a top 5 contender for me in the channel along with the Chu 1s. So I need to update my top 5s in the description, but definitely these 3 are part of the best IEMs for me in the $20 range. So the Tang's a winner as well, but it's a bit more fun compared to this two. So that's why I chose these pairs. Actually, the Salnote Zero, the newer version, I believe maybe it's the Critical collaboration is out, so I need to check that out as well. So maybe we can do a full comparison here. But we're getting really nice releases for the $20 range, and the Chu 2 is no different from that. Definitely welcoming releases like this from manufacturers like have more variations in the $20 range. maybe we can see even planar release for the $20 range. That will be really interesting. And of course, maybe more drivers, maybe hybrid configuration of this type of tuning. That will be very, very welcome. So I'm really looking forward to that. Having maybe a bit more micro detail, a bit cleaner sound, a different sound, but with this type of tuning, that will definitely be welcome. So yeah, looking forward for more $20 releases, a bit more variation in $20 releases. You know, if you tell me that we have this IEMs like 5 years ago, I won't believe you, but it's here now. We're getting really better and better releases for the $20 range. Good IEMs are getting cheaper and cheaper. Definitely really welcome for you know, a budget IEM channel like mine. But yeah, that's my review. Of course, if you learned something, I'm gonna leave a like and subscribe for content like this in the future. Of course, if you want to get either of these, use pay links down in the description below. It will help out the channel a lot. What IEMs or budget IEMs would you like me to check out? Are there IEMs that I have missed in the $10 range? Let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of the Chu 2s? Do you like it over the Chu 1s, over the Soundnote Zeros? What do you like best? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next zpolt video. Goodbye.